Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be doing another installment of the weekly meta breakdown where we look at the top performing decks on the MTG Arena ladder. This particular video is for the Explorer Best of 3 format. If you're looking for Best of 1 Explorer, Standard, Historic, what have you, you can check it in the playlist. Each week we cover each of the formats in its own standalone video. And what we're trying to do here is kind of highlight, what is the best deck to take you to Mythic? What are the most winningest decks, if that's a word, on the ladder that are working out for folks right now, and kind of highlighting trends week over week. What's the new card being played? How do you counter the meta? Stuff like that. This is a net deck happy zone. Copy people's lists, learn how to play, refine your game. Nothing wrong with doing so. Come enjoy, soak up the data, and we can kind of go from there. We get the stats themselves from Untapped GG. It's a companion tool that runs alongside your Arena client. Tracks your win rates, loss rates, has a whole bunch of useful data, in-game overlay stuff. So you can check that out. There's links in the video description below. You can follow that link, install it for free, get going. This week we're also leveraging MTG Arena Zone. It's another good, useful site for... It doesn't have the data to really back it up, but it kind of curates kind of some high placement decks. So folks usually will tag them. Like myself, this month I finished Mythic in 3 days. Came in at number 49 Mythic. So I tagged them with my list. This is what I'm playing, kind of thing. But it doesn't have the kind of curated data to kind of back it up. It's an individual's performance. So while an individual might be killing it with a deck, it might not overall be as successful as if we look at something like this. So in any case, we're going to jump into this. If you do enjoy this type of meta video, we do them weekly, like I said. It's greatly appreciated if you can. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Helps out the channel grow, and just lets YouTube know that folks like this type of stuff, so they kind of recommend me on the homepage. So greatly appreciate it if you can. So Best of 3, May 30th to June 6th, Platinum to Mythic, 19,000 matches of Magic, so 2 to 3 times this based on Best of 3 format. And top performing decks, we have a couple of different variations, just kind of little tweaks, but Rakdos Midrange is the most winningest deck. This is Rakdos good cards. Pretty much every card in here is a 2-for-1 removal, whatever you may have it. So lots of removal in this deck. Bloodchief's Thirst, Fatal Push, Bloodtithe Harvester can be removal, Heartless Act removal, Stomp's removal, Soul Shatter's removal, Chandra's removal, Angrath could be removal. Very much a theme here, but you can see how cards are like card advantage, life gain, kill something, get value. Kroxa takes away stuff from their hand, comes back from the graveyard. Thoughtseize. Still one of the most annoying plays on turn 1 is from your opponent. You keep this hand and you're like, okay, we're good. 2-drop, 3-drop, and they're like, nah, Thoughtseize. And then kill your thing and just kind of go from there. His deck's really takes advantage of Fable the Mirror Breaker. Every mode's relevant. Ramps you in the early stage. You can discard your Kroxa to reanimate. You can kind of get rid of, if you're in a matchup against, say, like Blue-White Control, you're not going to need Fatal Push. You might want to discard those to try to find a Thoughtseize, maybe. Something of those nature. You also have Reflections here that can then copy stuff. So you can get copies of like Graveyard Trespasser, Bonecrusher Giant, Bloodtithe Harvester, which can be removal each turn for 1 mana. So a lot of utility there. Angrath's another card that just eats away at your opponent's hand. A lot of good utility lands. You have your Castle for card advantage. Some creature lands, the channel lands as well. In the sideboard, we see control hate, kind of these mid-range decks, hand hate, Ray of Enfeeblement for any sort of like white-based creatures. Anger, when you need to just have like a sweeper if a deck's going to go wide on you. Ashiok, go blank is kind of graveyard hate. Necromentia for combo decks. Kolaghan's Command's a useful kind of 2-for-1 in a variety of ways. Soul Shatter for like Teferi or like big kind of dumb creatures on their own. Leylines for graveyard hate, and then Chandra for anti-control. Up next we have Mono Red Agro. This is kind of a burn-based version of the deck. So we see Lava Runner, we see Soulscar Mage, Viashino has some burn. Just a lot of ways to kind of take advantage. Just trying to kill your opponent as fast as possible. Burn them out, light up the stage for card value. Wizard's Lightning is 1 mana in this deck, pretty much. You have a lot of wizards. And then you have like Experimental Frenzy. I think this deck here was Martin Yuza's. He was playing something similar on Channel Fireball. Then you just got like anti-life gain, some more kind of flexible and Bonecrusher, 2-for-1, specific burns packages, and then Chandra for the grind. Then we're going to move over to Arena Zone. These are a couple of featured decks. So this is a Gruul Transmogrify Luca Titan of Industry deck by Miskpoop, 174 Mythic. So we played something like this in Best of 1. If you want to see the video, I can link it in the comments. But basically what you're trying to do is there's a lot of ways you can make tokens in this deck, and what you're ideally trying to do is cheat into play as early as turn 3, a Titan of Industry. So you have Courier's Briefcase, which acts as a mana source, as well as creates a token. Actually, we can look at this way here. Sorry, there's a lot of ads on this site. That's the only downside. It's not as clean. So they're going to try to sell you Hudson Bay and a Jeep while we're looking at meta stuff. So Careful Consideration, instant speed, creates a mana dork. Courier's Briefcase creates a treasure and a mana dork. Then you transmogrify it. The only creature in your deck is Titan of Industry, so you always hit Titan of Industry. You can then, with a flipped Fable, copy Titan of Industries. So you have like Fire Prophecies to put them back into your graveyard, into your library. This version here is playing Burn Down the House. You also have just kind of a fair mid-range token-y style list with Eska's Chariot. Again, like, you know, turn 3 Chandra, turn 3 Chariot, they're still very good, especially on the play. Fable's useful card here. Luca's another way, so you have 7 ways to kind of cheat into play your creatures. And then this version here, you just got like some anti-control cards when you want to grind, specific removal, Graveyard Hate, Shaper's Sanctuary, Anger, so just a variety of kind of useful spells in there. Then we have another kind of cheat into play style deck. This is a Jeskai Creativity deck that got Mythic 14th by Ryume. And another kind of similar idea. Instead of Transmogrify, it's using Indomitable Creativity and in a Jeskai shell over Gruul. And what you're trying to do in this version here is cheat into play Angels of Treachery, or Agent of Treachery, not Angels of Treachery. And then you basically steal your opponent's lands, best spells, whatever it may be. And then otherwise it's just like a Jeskai control deck. Counter spells, removal spells, Wedding Announcement, Fable, Shark Typhoon. So you can kind of play this mid-rangey control style strategy and then just steal your opponent's stuff. Sideboard, you have like Graveyard Hate, Sweepers, Counters, anti-control cards, like when you need to gain some life. In some matchups where they're not playing out big threats, these are better hits than Agent of Treachery. Against like Mono Red, like even when I was playing the Gruul deck, I was playing Jeskai Fire's version of it, which is a similar concept. You're just using Transmogrify with Fires of Invention to cheat and play Agent. Against some decks that go wide, you just taking one creature when you're already at 5 life doesn't really do much, where the Dream Trawler can gain you a bunch of life to help you race in those matchups. Up next, we have 5-color Widespread Thieving Niv Mizzet by Alterex, number 1 Mythic they got this month. So this is a Niv Mizzet Reborn 5-color deck, leveraging Omnath. You got Scarab God in there. And then notably with this version here, you're seeing, let's go here, Widespread Thievery. So Hideaway 5, it's kind of a Bring to Light-esque way of doing it. So what you want to do with this deck, whenever you're casting multicolor spells, it kind of ramps you up, and then you can also just pay mana into it to pay the Hideaway cost. So it's both ramp, mana fixing, and helps you dig for card advantage. The deck's otherwise just like some ramp and a variety of removal spells, very flexible, bounce, card advantage. And then you just got more removal and kind of control-y style stuff, weenie stuff, counters. So just a lot of variety here. This is not a budget-friendly deck by any means. 38 rares, 9 mythics. And then lastly, we have 4-color Humans by Taco Bite, 174 mythic. So this is a mono white, splash black, splash green, splash blue, and really you're getting a lot of that by having the ability of these tribal lands. So Secluded Courtyard, Unclaimed Territory lets you hit those other colors. The bulk of the creatures in the deck are white, and you're just leveraging human synergies with like Thalia's Lieutenant to pump up your squad. Extraction Specialist is a cool card that can reanimate in a way stuff, so you can reanimate your Thalia's Lieutenant. You could blink them with Charming Prince. Card advantage with Thraben. Underdog could come back from the graveyard. You got Kudros in here as a Lord effect, and Graveyard Hate. Coco and Adeline kind of bring together the deck. Just there's a lot of good threats here, sideboard wise, for like the Greasefang matchup, kind of control-y matchups, for the Fires of Invention matchup, control, just more removal, and then Graveyard Hate. So that pretty much wraps it up for the week. I'll link all these all in the video. And as I mentioned, if you can, drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All are useful, helpful, thankful ways on my part to help me with the channel, and hopefully you enjoy this type of content. We'll come back with it every week. If you do enjoy like MTG Arena gameplay content, we do a variety on the channel as well. I'm a little slow right now, just with summer, not doing as much gameplay, just still keeping up with the meta, but in the winter we usually come up with a new gameplay video every single day of the week as well. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one, and stay safe out there.